make sure that foot up, so it's close to the line. So try to do what I'm doing. Have a look.
You got it right. You got it right.
Yeah, so foot up.
So inside foot up.
Inside foot close. That way when you move, you're pivoting, you're moving around with the back foot. Yeah, so the other side, if the other foot's up, you're turning away.
So go left foot on.
Yeah.
Inside foot.
Inside foot. So
Closest to the breakdown, it's the inside foot up. It's to stop you from doing this. Facing this side. So inside foot up keeps your hips square. You can still do that, and then you can do this.
So I'm going to have a look. One thing we're going to add today is we're just going to make sure that we add a scan in for offsides. Okay, so don't forget our flags are our players. We're just going to have a little look, have a little cast your eyes out that way, make sure you're going to have a bit of a scan. You might even have something to do here as well. You want to do something with your offsides, manage, it's up to you. But just add that element in today, just to build that capacity. Once you just come out from this side and go this way. Just come through our ladder. You can choose whatever you want to do through the ladder. So we've got a few different ones you can do. So it's either both feet in, both feet out. Or you can do both feet in and then side to side. Or literally just 2 feet in, each one. Your choice as to what you want to do. Come out of the ladder. So you come in or not. Then come into this one here. Sit yourself. Then the ball's going to go away. Coaches.
When it's going away, when it's going that way. Yeah.
And we'll have our coaches on standby just to work with us
individually. Not so worried
stuff.
about which foot's leading in or inside foot.
So it's literally, even for that arrival, even if you know it's going to go this way, once you know it's going to go that way, it's still there.
It's a straight line behind it.
And nice and close.
So my question to you, what is the trigger that will let you know that it's going to go that way?
Half back?
Alright. We'll just get into it, guys, and coaches will pick up everything with individuals. You can just pull them up to the side, we won't stop the drill. Just pull them to the side and have a chat and then we can go back in. Cool, so we can start from things that NZ Rugby in particular have identified that they want to have nailed in the game in general in New Zealand, not just at community level, but right up through Super Rugby as well. Okay. So we went into tonight. We're looking for a couple of outcomes tonight. So we're looking to use our primary, our base positioning, one that we practice at the start of most on-field trainings. Just that arrival, using that position to assist us with managing our offsides, but also different communication techniques. What are some different ways that we can communicate with our players in order to make sure that they remain clearly on side? So what we'll do, we'll just start with our coaches. If you guys have had a chance to maybe just download a few thoughts and just from what you've seen and maybe some trends or some things that you worked on with your groups. Some highlights, some lowlights, in-betweens.
Yeah, we got too close to the breakdown.
Okay.
So if you imagine that's the ruck and you've got your foot up, right? So you're not going to referee from here right? Here we go. You're not going to referee this far away. So you've got to be doing it out here. So our emphasis was to get people further out, and they also then were able to manage their offside lines. But in a Saturday game, we must think about, so if you're refereeing secondary schools, the halfback's pass is going to be shorter, which will just about force you further out, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of traffic in here. If you got Luke Campbell on the weekend, like Sam did, you can stand anywhere you like because the pass is going to go so far out into the outfield. So think about these things as far as your positioning. We're giving you examples of how to get into the D line, how to approach a ruck maul, but then it's up to you on Saturday what distances you take and how you get there. Make sure you've got the correct foot in the inside, not the outside, because if you turn, you're going to lose sight of the ball. It's basic stuff. Head up, watching what's happening. But every time you go into a game, watch what the teams are doing around this area, because that will determine where you stand. And so it becomes part of your thinking and game management. So that was my comment.
And I think, just to go on the back of that as well, like having a drill like that where it is, that is intentionally close, that's intentionally only 10 metres. Because once that's our first time running the drill, so we're also learning the drill as well. So once we figured out that ball actually really does have to go out to the 5 and the 15, like I was trying to huff on a few times about it there, but it does, that is the purpose for the drill, is to create that close quarters as well. However, yeah, if you do get caught in too close to the ruck, there's, what Craig just said there, particularly on the game down Saturday. Any other coaches there?
Yeah, just on the scanning thing, especially if you're using your voice, telling somebody to get back on it, you've got to have eye contact as well, because good players pick up. If you're not looking at them, they don't give a shit. So if you've got eye contact, they know that you're actually watching. So
Because if you're standing here, you've got lateral vision, okay, you can pretty much see either side of it without moving your head, if you think about it. And so if you're doing this, you're looking like this and you're doing that. As soon as you turn your head that way, this guy's going to move up a place, isn't it? So Graham's right, it's more than one motion and a bit more communication than just one look.
I think, especially in our group, what was quite telling as well is getting a presence. If you've got a presence, then you're less likely to get people offside. If you don't have the presence, then they're going to always try it on, right? But if you see a problem child that is clearly always offending or always seems to be offside, if you've got a presence and they know you're watching them and you're setting clear standards, out in the real game, the chance of them offending are pretty low. But if you just leave them to it and then react all the time, you're going to have 56 penalties in a game, and that's not what we want.
Yellow cards.
And yellow cards, all that. So be proactive, have that presence, and there's nothing wrong with having that communication, so they know that you're watching them. Even by going up to them in downtime and saying, look, at every breakdown you appear to be offside all the time. I'm watching you. I need you to take that step back. Only an idiot would ignore that, right? In which case you shouldn't be playing anyway. So presence, good communication so they know where you're going, and also what Graham said, that's eye contact, so they know you're watching them. But other than that, yeah, I think some of the positioning are really good.
I learned a really cool thing off this fella here when I first arrived. I think you might remember the conversation. I went to him and said I was having problems getting the D-line to get back. And he said, why don't you go to the D-line? And I said, I fucking hate going to the D-line. He says, well, go to the D-line. I won't use the exact words you said, but I think it had something along the lines of big black bugger. Go to the D-line and use your physicality to pull them back. And so I've probably spent more time in the D-line this year than I have in my previous 25 years of refereeing. And I'm just finding you have such a massive presence by getting into that spot, taking that half a step, turning around, and then suddenly finding everybody comes back with you. I think on Saturday, Heath, I think we had a couple of penalties for offsides. They were both called by my hours, but hardly any in heaps of space. And that's what New Zealand Rugby want.
Right, what we're going to do, guys, we're just going to break back into our two groups now. So we've got just a few things to discuss, and how you facilitate that discussion within your group, whether do a whole group or whether you do in pairs and then share back together with the group is up to you. But within your groups, we're just going to have a little reflection on the drills now that you've had an opportunity to walk up here and think about how it went out there, and maybe hear some of the feedback from the coaches. There should be a bit of a mixture of different referee grades and whatnot within your groups. So just think, what does this look like? What does managing offsides look like at different grades? So maybe think about the grade of rugby that you referee or have refereed recently. What does managing offsides look like, and what are the challenges that you might have, because they are different at different grades. I want you to think about maybe some different areas of the game that we're under pressure in terms of offsides. Okay, have a chat about what those parts of the game might be, and we're often not teams are more likely to be offside. And lastly, if you have any tips, or anyone's got any tips for managing offsides or on the run tips type things for that, make sure this is an opportunity to share those and discuss those and share knowledge within the group as well. Okay, so we'll earmark about 15 minutes for that conversation. What I'll do is the group that's not with me, I'll give that list of things to you guys so that this is ingrained in my head. I'll give that list so you don't miss out on talking about those things. Yeah, but get together, find the space in here. I think we've got the other room as well if we need to, but I think we're not in a very big group tonight, so we can just use the space that we've got here. Have a chat about those things. Make sure you try and get different speaking opportunities for everyone within the group, and a good opportunity to share. If you weren't here for our on-field drills, just literally attach yourself, because there's plenty to hear, contribute, and contribute to our group chat as well, regardless of whether you're here for the drill or not. Okay. Any questions about what we're about to do right now? Okay, so just to summarise, so reflection on the drills, what it looks like in different grades, maybe areas of the game that run under pressure with offsides, and just any offside management tips for on the go, on the run. Okay, cool. Right, cool, break. Coaches, just scatter yourselves. Sweden was that drill was intentionally narrow. So we discussed, the merits behind that, and just from the side to side. Obviously, we've got different drills. We'll have some same way stuff and things like that, and we get a bit wider. But this one, obviously, was intentionally between the 5 and 15. We talked about some of the areas in which we had there's some pressures or saw offsides more. Things like break and play or kick chase, things like that. Goal line defence. Or teams, and also teams getting tied, teams that are unconditioned and tied, perhaps in the second half. You probably start seeing a few more, so there's a few things that came out from our group. And I guess a few on the run management tips as well, the presence that we can have, using our arms, our hands, our body, eyes, not constantly using your voice, constant and just drowns out. So that was probably a real big one that stood out there. Any real golden nuggets that stood out from your group at all? That hasn't already been mentioned.
The under pressure. We're offside under pressure. You want to tell them?
The set piece, the kick, chase, and the kick.
Kick chase, yeah.
Chase, yeah, and then the red zone.
Red zone, yeah. Yeah, we finished off by talking about the goal line defence and how challenging that can be as well. Particularly when you've got players that are here like this, defending there.
Yeah.
So yeah, managing those.
Behind,
yeah, everything has to be there. Yeah. Good. So look, we just round back on our objectives tonight. So look, we're trying to obviously use those base positions to use those for our positioning and to manage those offsides. So hopefully we can start to take a bit of that into our games on Saturday. And then the different communication techniques, what can we use in terms of your body, where you put your body, how you use your body, your eyes, your voice. So using those to keep players clearly onside, and clearly is the directive from NZR and World Rugby. So not just pushing the line, but they are actually showing you that they are onside. And if you have any doubt, then you should be going the other way. Yep.
When I ran touch with Sam on Saturday, shit you not, I could see a half a metre gap between the Te Puke backs and the ruck. It was like, it was so clear and obvious, it was ridiculous. It was a good half a metre, so the good teams have been coached really well.
There's no reason why we can't reinforce that, and we talked about a bit of positive reinforcement today as well in our group, and how you can actually say, you guys are doing well with your offsides, keep it up, something like that. Maybe I'll take here. Right, that's our session for tonight in terms of offsides. Rolling.